Welcome to Inside the Park on FSPN, the weekly recap show for Miami-Dade and Broward High School baseball. I'm Uncle Muggs, and alongside me is none other than Anthony Chappi Castillo.
My man Muggs. Brother, I heard you were rolling dice out there in Vegas.
I went to Vegas with Matter, and it was unbelievable, Chappi. Unforgettable experience with some really cool people that I consider now to be my extended family. From Umberto to Tito to Brito, and they're hands down the best in the business, those guys. And to the parents, what can I tell you? Great people, fun, and they really love their baseball. And the team, man, the Lions, they have to fight for everything this year. And it hasn't been easy for these guys, but they're all very resilient as a team, and some of them are true ballers. I mean, every single one of them. They're an awesome group to be around there.
Yeah, they have some great hitters, a lot of great chemistry so far. A lot of those kids have been coming and playing ball together for a while now, so it's great to see all that chemistry coming together.
They have a junior there, Adrian Peña, that they throw him in the fire every time, and he's incredible. He's been their go-to guy in those situations, and I'll get into that a little bit later in the show. But first, let's pay some bills. Today's show is brought to us by our good friends at Florida State Tentless Termite Treatment. You can forget about the hassle of tenting and evacuating your home. The tentless treatment means no disruption of your life. The Florida State Tentless solution is eco-friendly, pet-friendly, and safe for your family. It targets termites right where they live, deep inside of your house. Call Florida State Tentless Termite today and get your free inspection done. They've been keeping Florida homes safe for over 25 years. Call 305-669-9292 or visit their website at www.woodtermite.com. All right, Chappi, so it's time for the first pitch player spotlight. What do you have for us today?
I'll keep it short and sweet for this week. We're going to start with our attention in Hialeah, right-handed pitcher, class of 2027, Jaden Lau. This kid has been stellar so far. He's basically had to go through a gauntlet of top competition here in Dade County. He's played pitched against True North. He's pitched against Miami Springs and Columbus. He's beaten a couple of those teams already. Very gritty and competitive on the mound. Lean, projectable. A lot of room to fill physically. Shows some charisma on the mound, which is always a breath of fresh air. Has a great feel for his slider. Slider's very organized and shows swing and miss potential. He's been up to 78 on the mound, and the slider and the changeup combo is very, very nice. Now let's move our attention over to Kendall, West Kendall. We'll go with my alumni, a class of 2026 catcher, right-handed pitcher, J.J. Bauza. Bauza is a switch-hitting catcher with sneaky pop. He's an above-average runner and an athlete with a high IQ. Plus catch-and-throw guy behind the plate. Throws a lot of guys out, back picks. And he's been a standout this spring. And I really like this kid so far, and I'm very intrigued with his future. And then we're going to keep our attention in West Kendall, and we'll go with a senior class of 2025 uncommitted utility player named Nick Carrillo. Nick Carrillo is a wiry frame with above-average speed, very athletic, plays multiple positions. He has a knack for barrels and could be a spark plug for his ball club and that offense. And I'm looking forward to his commitment in the future. Last but not least, I want to congratulate a first-pitch certified student-athlete, Angel Ayala from South Dade, class of 2025, as he's committed to Atlantis University here in Miami. And it's always special to keep guys home and to do what I do and help guys get to the next level.
And you're doing a great job, Chappi. And again, the quality of the video is outstanding work. You guys are doing great work out there. And your dedication shows. You know, you're getting these kids placed, and that's what it's about, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, so let's talk about the hot topic of the week, and it's been the Fespys. These are the awards that we'll be giving out at the end of the season in the form of a beautiful glass trophy that are being made right now by our good friends at Casa Faroy. Yvette over there has come up with a beautiful design, and they come in a box with the velvet lining and everything. They're gonna be awesome, and they're gonna look sharp. So we currently have thousands of votes, and I mean, Chappi, thousands of votes came in. It was crazy to see how much support these players have from their family and friends and fans. Some of these guys can run for a public office and probably win with the votes that they're getting. So watch out, Mayor Cava. These guys can get some support, and they could be coming after her job.
For sure.
You got to watch out. So let's go over the guidelines so that everyone is on the same page.
All right, guys. The voting and the nominating is done through our Instagram page at Floridasportspn. You can vote only one time for each player by leaving their name at the comments in each category. So please vote one time per player. We already had one lady, Carolina Nieves, that voted like 25 times for Lucci. So thank you, Carolina. We appreciate that. But please, no me explota el teléfono, I have Brian Iglesias, my brother, cógelo suave with the voting.
Yeah, Brian Iglesias guy went crazy voting for, I think it was GABO he was going for. But we're going to use AI, and it's not Allen Iverson. We're going to use AI to determine the winner, and it will consist of the following. Number one, it's going to be the strength of schedule. Number two is going to be statistics. And number three, it's going to be the votes. We're going to use the rankings of the teams that you played combined with the stats at the end of the season. And together with the votes, we're going to come up with a winner. And keep in mind, this is not a popularity contest. You still have to earn it on the field. And with that said, let's go over the senior categories that we have player by player.
Yeah, these are some real dogs in this category. And I mean some real nasty hitters. Starting with Dylan Prince, the second baseman of Doral Academy.
Yeah, Dylan has 6 home runs in the books, and I've seen the power firsthand. A good choice right there.
Next is the Columbus third baseman, Mario Magaña Jr. He's stolen 16 bases and has 16 RBIs so far. He has all the tools with the speed and pop with some solid defense to go along with that.
Let me tell you, you can say what you want about Doral Academy's field being small, but this next guy hits some bombs that can go out of Yankee Stadium. And I'm talking about Gabriel Milano. I've seen them firsthand, Chappi. And this week he hit 2 against IMG Academy. Probably the best high school team in the whole planet. And he went yard twice. And he leads everyone down here with 8 dongs. And who goes twice against IMG? Nobody, Pablo, nobody. Just that nasty perro.
Yeah. Next on, that home run list is with 7 is Mason Lastra of Ransom Everglades. He's got 7 bombies.
And even though Ransom doesn't play the strongest of opponents, 7 home runs don't go over the fence by themselves. You still got to hit them.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's a guy that's under everyone's radar, but his numbers are just impressive. And I'm talking about the one and only Lennox Munoz, the shortstop from Miami Beach.
Yeah, Chappi, this guy's the real deal. He has 22 stolen bases so far, and he's hitting .529, and he plays an unbelievable shortstop. I saw him against Southwest, and he was all that and a bag of chips.
Another guy you probably haven't heard of because he's all the way down in Key West is Sam Holland. The Conch senior outfielder has 20 base hits, and 10 of them are doubles. That leads the league.
The Conchs have a very young team, but Holland is definitely one of the senior leaders that Coach Enriquez turns to when he needs a big hit down there.
One of the nastiest perros on this list has to be Mr. Bulldog himself, Marcelo Torres of Braddock. The center fielder has some very impressive numbers so far.
Yeah, this guy's just filthy with the bat. Torres is hitting about .467 with 28 RBIs and 6 bye-bye-byes. The next guy on this list is a hitting specialist with his meticulous approach and the way that he comes through every time his team needs him. And I can only be talking about one guy, and that's Matter Academy's DH first baseman, Brian Arrieta. The Southwestern Iowa commit has some clutch hits this season and is batting 4th in a lineup for the Lions that is stacked with great hitters.
Arrieta is amongst the league leaders in RBIs, and he's quiet guy off the field, but he lets the bat do the talking for him on the field. Let's talk about another nasty Bulldog on this list, and his name is Manny Sanchez. This is a Nova Southeastern University commit and the Braddock shortstop.
Sanchez can do it all. With the glove, he's a human vacuum cleaner. He catches everything. And with the bat, he has over 20 hits, and he's been a leader for Coach Martinez in that Bulldog dugout all season long.
One of my favorites this year, Jose Herrera of the JCB Thunder, started the season red hot. He's maintained that consistency all season long.
Yeah, Herrera's hitting over 400 and slugging 650. He's been the racehorse for Coach Garcia at JCB this year. In what has been an up and down season for the Belen Wolverines, the one constant has been the playoff senior Danny Lopez.
Lopez has been a solid shortstop and at the plate for the Jesse's Wolverines all season long.
One of the favorites in this category has to be Jose Correa of Columbus. Correa is amongst the league leaders in all offensive categories. He's hitting .500 with 16 stolen bases.
Yeah, Correa is another one of those dual threats in that lineup. and definitely the anchor in that powerhouse of Columbus.
Here's a guy that's been nothing but solid for his Monsignor Pace Spartan team. It's Robert Kramer. Kramer is the Indian River commit. He's hitting over 450, and he hit his first home run this last week against Key West.
Yeah, Kramer, he's been huge for the success of first-year head coach Chuck Lyman and the Spartans.
Luis Sosa is having a very solid year for the Felix Varela Vipers. Sosa is hitting over 400, and the Vipers wouldn't be where they are in the top of the 5A District 16 if it wasn't for Sosa.
Yeah, Sosa is definitely the centerpiece in that Viper lineup.
The Killian Cougars have a shortstop by the name of Jonathan Acosta that's as good as they come. The North Florida commit, Acosta, is hitting 350, and he's a magician with the glove.
Leon, he's going to have to rely on Acosta come that district time. They're going to have to play Sunset, St. Brendan, and that tough 3A District 16.
The last one on this list is another Doral Firebird, Jaden Nunez. And Nunez doesn't get overshadowed by his big-time teammates. He has his own accomplishments. Nunez is hitting over 450 with a dong 6 doubles so far this season.
Yeah, I'm loving Nunez this year, and I'm loving everything about Doral.
What do you think about the categories? Pretty stacked, huh?
Yeah, the category so far is stacked, and it should be. There's been incredible players all around the county.
Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to take a look at the Senior Pitchers of the Year nominees, and then it's the weekly recap and the player spotlight. So stay with us. We'll be right back with more Inside the Park right after this. Thanks for watching, everyone. Welcome back, everyone, to Inside the Park, the weekly recap show for Miami-Dade and Broward High School baseball. Well, Chappi, let's go over the Fespy nominees for the 2025 Miami-Dade Pitcher of the Year, and we have some really, really nasty perros in this category. I mean, really nasty, boy.
Yeah, all of these nominees, they have one thing in common, and they can just flat out pitch, man. Each are unique in their own way and how they go about it. But all of them, they just get the job done on the bump for their teams, and that's what's most important.
The first nominee in this pitcher's list is the nasty perro himself, Kevin Roque of the Miami Springs Hawks. So far this season, Roque sure has the numbers that any coach would be happy with. And I'm sure that Fanshaw loves it when he looks at the HSBN website and he sees Roque #1 in the county with wins and tied for first with 3 complete games and an ERA around 1, and is also amongst the league leaders in strikeouts.
Yeah, so far, Roque has shown that he's the real deal, and it's easy to see why Nova picked him up this year to pitch for him next season.
The next guy on this list is big game Matthew Rios of the Columbus Explorers. Rios is a perfect example of what we're looking for in a pitcher of the year. His stats may not jump off the page at you, but when he's called in to face some of the hardest competition, he comes through.
Yeah, 41 strikeouts. Seems to be on the bump for some big games like St. Brendan, Westminster, at UM, and Southwest. Yeah, he's a big game guy.
Also on this list is Matter Academy's Western Oklahoma commit Alfred Rosario. Rosario was Dade County's Pitcher of the Month for private schools in February.
Rosario, he's had 16 strikeout performance against Florida Christian this season, and that's just a little bit of an impressive to his resume so far this year.
In what I believe to be one of the nastiest perros in all of the league, it has to be Doral Academy's Marcelo Rodriguez. The Firebird right-hander has 5 wins and a 1.33 ERA, and he's given out 43 croquetas.
Yeah, my boy Marcelo is an Arizona State commit. This ace, and literally an ace, on a team that has the most wins in the county, has only given up 2 home runs his entire high school career. Another nasty perro on this list is from the left side, from True North, Alan Soler.
Soler had a solid performance against Stoneman Douglas, beating them 1-0 earlier in the year. From the Belém Wolverines, it's Frankie Aleman. Aleman has the most innings pitched for Belém so far this season, and he has 30 croquetas in 24 innings.
Yeah, that bakery for Alemán is definitely rolling, and Jesse's got to go get him in big games.
Florida Christian lefty, future pilot Richard Piloto, has started some big games for Briggy's Patriots this season.
Yeah, Piloto with the big workhorse for the Patriots. He's coming into the postseason for sure. This kid is a go-to guy.
And for the third lefty on this list, it's Felix Varela's Luis Sosa. Sosa, as a pitcher, has a sub-zero ERA to go along with 35 croquetas repartidas.
Yeah, Sosa is the key and the success for Varela this season because he can also hit like a beast.
Yep.
Another guy that deserves to be on this list is my guy out of Braddock, another nasty perro himself, Jesus Moreno. Moreno has a sub-1 ERA and 5 wins on the season with a save.
Moreno just threw a no-hitter against Elmore County last Wednesday in Tennessee. Magdiel Estevez is part of the Miami Springs 1-2 punch that will be devastating in a best-of-3 series. So far this season, Estevez is 5-0 with an ERA around 1, and he has 38 croquetas distributed.
Yeah, that bakery between Roque and Estevez is always cooking. Springs has the best team ERA so far. Muggs, he's also hitting over 330 this year. He's a big part of that Miami Springs team.
The Columbus Explorer pitcher Michael Say has a 0.0 ERA and is a nationally ranked pitcher. The Explorers would not be where they are right now without Say having a say.
And I'll tell you what else to say. Uncle Muggs, this kid, he pitched a 2-hitter against Southridge last week.
The next pitcher on this list is Aaron Elisan.
It's Aaron.
I know, but I've always wanted to say Aaron because of the Key and Peele thing, you know, when the substitute teacher, you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it. Everybody has.
Everybody, okay, all right. Anyways, Aaron is part of a 1-2 punch they have over at Doral Academy, and he's 4-0 with 36 croquetas and a 1.63 ERA.
Yeah, Doral will be hard to beat in a 3-game series with those two monsters they have over there in Marcelo and your boy Aaron.
And to round out the 2025 senior pitchers, it's Tito Pena of Ransom Everglades.
Yeah, Tito has 40 croquetas in just 28 innings. You want to talk a bakery being opened up over there, huh?
Well, Chappi, what a collection of arms in that senior category. What do you think of that?
Yeah, just incredible resumes for all of those guys. And I wish them all the luck as they continue on this season. And I literally hope that this just keeps on coming, man. Like, you guys have been impressive just so far. So I just hope you guys can continue this impressive run for the entire year, because there's one thing that's been lacking for a couple of years is just outstanding pitching. Pitchers with pitchability, pitchers that want to take their teams to state. And now with having to go 2 out of 3 to win, you're gonna need that pitching.
All right, stick with us. When we come back, we'll have the weekly recap with scores and highlights, and then we'll have the player spotlight right here on Inside the Park.
This week, there was a lot of teams that traveled different places around the country to test themselves against some foreign competition. Some of them played so well that they should have stayed at that destination forever. Pero, Babo, ahora sí se te fue el avión de verdad, and you're flying it.
What? You said travel. You said foreign destinations. Some teams were flying away this week for spring break. One team that didn't experience any jet lag were the Braddock Bulldogs. They went to Tennessee for the week, and on Monday, the Bulldogs sent the team from West Virginia to baggage claim looking for some runs. The 144 boys put up 14 runs on George Washington and shut them out 14-0. And on Tuesday, the Dogs played a team from Arkansas, the Sylvan Hills Bears, and they beat them 12-2. But on Wednesday, the Dogs got shut out 3-0 by a team from Chicago called Forest Town. They must have had some really good pitching to shut out the Bulldogs.
Yeah, or maybe the Bulldogs just didn't come out to play. It happens.
The Coral Reef Barracudas punched their ticket to the capital, Washington, D.C., and they had their third highest run-scoring game, beating the Washington Latin Quarter 12-0. And on Tuesday, they played a team from Ohio, Williamsburg, and they beat them 19-0. And that was their highest run output total of the season. And I heard that Coach Quintero is looking to buy a house up there.
Yeah, with that real estate and how many runs they put up, I would too.
On Tuesday, Briggy and the Florida Christian Patriots packed their suitcases and headed to Jacksonville, where they faced a really good 10-3 team, the Trinity Christian Academy from Jacksonville, and lost 2-1. Man, Chappi, I can't wait to have my own private jet. I would have loved to have been there for that one. I personally prefer pitchers' duels. On Thursday, the Patriots faced the Bishop Snyder Cardinals that are 13-5. The Cardinals took it to Florida Christian 6-1. Friday, Briggy and the Patriots played another tough team in the Christians of University. This time, the defending district champion, also from Jacksonville, and the Patriots got shut out 12-0.
When the Patriots come back, they still have to play JCB Thunder, St. Brendan, and Miami Christian.
Another team that was leaving on a jet plane were the Mater Academy Lions. They went on the road to test their luck in Las Vegas. The Lions played the Basic Academy Wolves that are led by their head coach, Gino DiMaria. In a game that you can see right here on FSPN, the Lions set their Western Oklahoma commit, Alfred Rosario, to the mound. Rosario battled with the Wolves lineup and held them to just one run. The junior right fielder, Brian Fernandez, hit a 2-run homer for the Lions. The Lions were up 9-4 going into the bottom of the 7th when the Wolves scored 4 and scared the crap out of the Lions that just barely hung on for a win, 9-8. The next day, the Lions faced a Las Vegas team, the Meadow School Mustangs, led by a super cool head coach, Andy Concepcion. The school sits on one of the most scenic backdrops that I've ever seen in baseball. What a beautiful place that was, Chappi. The Lions' bats were at Mach 1 speed. Oh, here, I can't read with these guys. Hold on. Give those back to Tom Cruise, bro. The Lions' bats were at Mach 1 speed. They scored 14 runs. And 2 of those 14 runs came off of the bat of Yodelquis Quevedo. And on Thursday, the Lions traveled to North Las Vegas to face the Faith Lutheran and played an epic game against the Crusaders. The game was unbelievable, a must-watch, Chappi. And the leads changed in that game. It was a really, really good hitting by the Lions. The Lions brought out the brooms and swept all 3 games in Vegas. And all 3 of those games you can see right here on FSPN. Chappi, this Lion team, they're starting to hit, and that's a very scary situation for their opponents because everyone's batting. I mean, 1 through 9, they're on fire right now. Papo, even the bat boy is hitting over 300.
Coño, if the bat boy is hitting over 300, then I'm trying to get a little bit of what the bat boy is hitting with, man.
Howard Cuervo and the Palmer Trinity Falcons were going back to Cali. The Falcons beat Monta Vista on Tuesday 12-9, and on Wednesday, the Falcons beat San Anthony's Saints of California. And on Friday, the Falcons beat San Margaret's of Tartans, California, 23-3. They swept California, and it's official. Head coach Howard Cuervo is moving to the state of California.
I would be too. Imagine, the Falcons end this season will go against the Coral Shores, Terra, and Mater Bay Academy.
Another team that punched their ticket to Tampa to play in the IMG National Classic were the Doral Firebirds. The Redbirds used all of their frequent flyer runs to beat the Palmetto Tigers out of Tampa 13-1. And the Prince of Tampa went bye in that game. Dylan Prince hit his 6th home run of the year. On Tuesday, Ralph Suarez's Firebirds took out the St. Louis Vikings of Chicago 6-0. The next day, Doral faced the Rams of T.C. Robertson out of Asheville, North Carolina, and the Birds won 6-2. So on Thursday, it was time for the showdown in a final against the mighty IMG Academy in Tampa. Guess who won that game?
IMG se lo metió 15 por la cabeza de Doral for sure.
But the Firebirds have a chance to desquitarse with another game against IMG on Saturday, April 5th, and on April 9th, Doral plays Stoneman Douglas to end the season.
That was the Firebirds' first loss in the last 16 games. They're 17-3-1.
Monsignor Pace lost to San Brendan's 3-1, and on Tuesday they went into Jesse's airspace at Belém and beat them 6-1. On Thursday, the Key West Conchs went northbound on US 1 to face the mighty Spartans of Monsignor Pace, and Coach Lyman was waiting for them at the terminal with an 8-5 win. The next day, the Conks played another Spartan team. This time it was the Slam Academy Spartans. They beat the Conks 6-5, and Key West needs to stop playing teams with Spartans in their name.
The Conks, they play Matter Academy on Wednesday in a game that you can see right here on FSPN. You know, if the Conks make it, they will host the regional. So get your sunscreen ready, Uncle Muggs. Okay, we're going to head into Key West, baby.
Vamos para los Cayos. Your local travel expert, Coach Adrian Nieto, has the True North Titans on a 6-game road trip. The Titans were in Palm Beach, and on Monday they lost 6-2 to the Martin County Tigers. On Thursday, True North played the Jensen Beach Falcons, the 2022 regional champs, and they needed 3 in the top of the 7th to barely get past Jensen Beach 8-7. And on Friday, the Titans checked in some baggage as they beat the Okeechobee Brahmins 14-4.
The Titans, they play at Archbishop McCarthy and Chaminade Madonna next week before coming home to face Miami Beach High Tides.
The Gulliver Prep Raiders traveled north to Chicago, and on Monday they cashed in their free trip voucher and beat the Lane Tech 7-5. On Tuesday they dropped one to Riverdale 2-10. In some local scores this week, the Matter Lakes Academy beat the South Dade Bucks 11-1 on Monday. Coral Gables shut out Goldman Gators 3-0. The Spartans of South Ridge bounced back from a Saturday 5-4 loss to Cohia by beating the Miami Christian Victors 7-3 at home. Wednesday, the Spartan Nation played the Piper Bengals at home and shut out the Bengals 6-0.
On April 4th, most Spartans play a grudge match against Coach Baldo and the South Dade Bucks. That game is a legit rivalry, one that you don't want to miss, and you're going to watch it right here on FSPN.
I have an upset alert. On Tuesday, the Chris Leon-led Killian Cougars flew into Belém and flew out with a 5-3 win over the Wolverines. Also on Tuesday, John Perez of the San Brendan Sabres, they were at it again. The Sabres got past a real good Spartans team 3-1. Perez Fernandez threw 6, allowing just 1 and just 2 croquetas. That tells me that he pitched to contact. And in this day and age of the fireball pitcher, it's always good to see a crafty performance like that. The Felix Varela Vipers held on to beat the Miami Christian Victors 4-3. The Vipers are 7-0 at home this season, and they are in a dogfight for the first seed in their district with the Matter Academy Lions.
The Vipers, they still have to play JCB, Stoneman Douglas, and St. Brendan.
On Friday, there were no flights needed here for the Sabres that literally walked over to play their neighbors, the Columbus Explorers, which in my opinion is a game that should be played every single year forever. It's good for the game, it's good for the community. So Robles and Weber, please get together on this because it's a win-win-win for everyone involved. The Explorers won this game despite being no hit by the Sabres.
The Explorers are 14-4.
Wow, Chappi, what a week that was. And next week it's GMAC's. I think Varela is hosting, and that should be awesome. FSPN will be at Matter on Tuesday versus Coral Gables for senior night. And on Wednesday, I'll be at Matter as well to see the Conks from Key West. And on Friday, I'll be in South Dade for that battle down south between the Bucks and the Spartans in a game that you don't want to miss. What are your thoughts on last week?
Incredible. I loved everybody that had to decided to leave the county and play some foreign competition like we said. And it's always fun to get out of Miami and do something different.
Stick with us. We're going to have the player spotlight coming up right after this. Welcome back to Inside the Park, your weekly recap show for South Florida High School baseball. And now it's time for the player spotlight. Our guest today is the senior third baseman for the Doral Firebirds. It's Mr. Gabriel Milano. Gabo, welcome.
Thank you, Uncle Mugs, for having me. I really appreciate what you're doing for South Florida, the baseball in South Florida, and I love the Caps, and mostly this one, my favorite one. Let's go Firebirds.
Yeah, man. It's not red by accident. We knew you were coming, so we had to deck the place out. So, Gabriel, everybody calls you GABO. How did you get that nickname?
So when I was little, my mom always called me, instead of calling me Gabe or Gabby, they said, oh, why not Gabo? So ever since then, my mom called me Gabo, and I've ever gone my Instagram, ever since I put my Instagram that, so everyone catches along to the Gabo.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, let's talk about this 2025 season. We're about 3/4 of the way through the season, and your Firebirds have 17 wins. And I know you guys were confident coming into the season, but is this kind of what you guys expected?
100%. I mean, we've created a great team bonding, and the 17 wins. I mean, the couple losses we have, I feel like we could have played a little bit better in those 2 games, those 3 games actually. But I mean, that's baseball, part of baseball. I mean, that's part of baseball. That's what we're gonna do, and I think what I expected this to be a good season. Yes, 100%.
All right, we all know that baseball is a team sport. But individually, man, you're putting up some huge numbers. You just hit your 7th and 8th home run this past week, and they were against IMG Academy, one of the best teams in the country, and now you're leading the county in home runs. What are you doing different, and what has been the same in your approach to hitting this year? Because last year you only hit 2 out.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the same person. I can say I didn't change much. I just changed my mindset. I just changed the way to think, the confidence going up to the plate, and the confidence with the coaches, and confidence between myself as well, and working harder. You know, I put in the extra hours that I didn't put as much as I did last year.
All right, let's go back to the team and this 2025 Doral team, and there's some real dogs, I mean, at the plate. Tell me something about your teammates like Pardo Jr., Jaden Nunez, Caleb Hernandez. What are you guys eating over there? Because everybody's hitting over 400, and Dylan's at 378 with 6 home runs. And you also have Hernandez and Fabio and the 2 Bryans over there, Mesa and Ravello. They're crushing the ball. What's going on over there, man?
I mean, what's giving us the E is our chemistry we have together. I mean, Coach Ralph has put countless hours in practice and BP hours. So, I mean, it's just a team, and hitting's contagious. One person hits and everyone else is gonna hit. So that's the beautiful part about baseball.
Let's talk about the Doral Firebirds pitching. You get to see these guys more often than we do. Tell us something about Marcelo, about Aaron Elizalde, and Tamargo, and how much these guys contribute to your success.
Yeah, I mean, they contribute so much. Marcelo, when you know Marcelo's on the bump, you know you're going to get a ton of ground balls. And Aaron, too. Aaron, they're big on changeups, and you're going to get a lot of ground balls. So as an infielder, you practice a lot because you expect those balls in play. And Marcelo's up to 95. I mean, it's incredible. He's throwing hard. He's throwing with some nasty pitches. Aaron, too. Aaron's ridiculous. Tamargo has done a great job throwing strikes, staying focused, being locked in as a senior. But it's not just them 3. I mean, as a pitching staff, what our coach William Duruthi has done with the pitching staff is incredible. I can't say much. I have so much words to say I can't say about how proud I am of the pitching staff.
All right, let's shift gears here and let's talk a little bit about Doral Academy, the school, the coaches, the administration, and what are going to be some of the biggest takeaways from your years here at Doral, and what would you tell a student or a parent or an athlete that's thinking about coming to Doral?
I mean, if you're coming to Doral, hands down, don't even think about it. I mean, the academics-wise is out of this world, and the sports, the program, the baseball program is out of this world as well. I mean, school, you go to school and you study all day, and then once that bell hits 2:30, you just change and you're ready on the field at 2:45. You're already sweating with Coach Ralph yelling at you. So it's an absolute blessing to have both of these both opportunities to learn and grind in the sport. So it's awesome.
So next season, you're going to trade in the red and white for the green and orange of the University of Miami. Can you tell us what the recruitment process was like, and any advice that you can give some of the juniors that are coming into that same situation this year?
The recruitment process was actually, the reason why I'm at Doral is because of the University of Miami. They helped me out a ton, and because of Michael Torres as well, that he's also at Miami right now. I used to, in eighth grade year, I called Miami. They said, why don't you think about going to Doral Academy? I'm like, let me check it out. And Michael Torres was there, and I knew him from MVP when I used to play with MVP. And I went to Doral, and ever since Doral, Coach Ralph spoke with the coaches, said how I am as a player, and I committed my October of my freshman year. And it was awesome. And I'm super excited to go to UM because that's honestly truly of a blessing.
All right, so 3/4 of the way through the season. I know you guys started out with some really high expectations. Is the goal still to be in Fort Myers?
100% to be in the Final Four. I mean, if we're not, I think it's unsuccessful year. And as we're looking right now, we have a high chance of being in the Final Four.
That's right, and I wish you the very best of luck for the remainder of the season. And we can't wait to see you in the green and orange, man. That's going to be a good look for you.
It is. I'm excited.
You know, it's going to be nice playing in Coral Gables. The family can come and see you and everything. And now it's time to have some fun, Gabo. It's a segment that we call the Change-Up, and it's where we ask you 3 questions that have absolutely nothing to do with baseball in a way for our viewers and for your fans to get to know you a little bit better. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm excited.
Okay. Is Gabo Milano a cat person or a dog person?
I'm a dog person.
For sure, dog. 100%.
Dog person, 100%.
Do you have a dog?
Yes, I do.
What's his name?
His name is Oso.
Also, like a bear.
Also like a bear. He's a mini bear. He's a small Yorkie. He looks just like a bear.
It doesn't match a Yorkie named Bear.
His face is just like a bear.
All right. Question 2. What is Gabo Milano's favorite sports car? Let's say you won the lottery tomorrow. You have an endless supply of cash. What car would you buy?
I'm going to buy the Lamborghini truck, the Lambo Urus. That's one of my favorite cars.
The SUV.
The SUV, yep.
Oh, that's bad. I like that one. Okay, here's one that everybody has a little bit of an issue with. What is Gabo's favorite restaurant, and what do you eat when you go there?
My favorite restaurant is Texas Roadhouse. I mean, those special breads are delicious, and I get the T-bone with a lot of fries.
Dude, that was a quick answer.
It really was.
No, but you can't go wrong with that place.
No, you cannot.
Everything there is good. They have a good
notch.
price, and it's a good value. Well, there you have it, folks. If you didn't know him before, you sure know him now. He's Gabo Milano. He likes to eat his T-bone while he's driving his Lambo, and with also in the passenger seat. Is that right? All right, buddy. So now it's time for the shout-outs. You've earned it. It's your YouTube. Who we're going to give shout-outs to?
First, I'm going to shout out to my parents. Honestly, they've been there since day one. I mean, and as well as my sister. My sister doesn't miss a game. My sister's there supporting me. If I ever feel down, my sister's there to give me a hug. Absolutely love her, and my parents too. My parents push me to be my best limit, push me past my limits, and honestly, hands down, it's honestly truly a blessing to have them by my side. And my grandparents haven't missed one game this whole season.
Abuelo, you can't forget.
We call them Los Aillos. Aillo and Ailla, we call them. My mom and my dad's side, they both, hands down, great support system. My aunts, my uncles, I'm super proud to have, super blessed, actually, very, very blessed to have them part of my side in this journey. And plus, also there making me smile, my dog, also.
Oh, also.
Yeah, you can't forget about him. Right. No. And coaches, my coaches, Coach Ralph Suarez, thank you for always being there for me, always pushing me past my limits, being my second dad to me on and off the field. I mean, you've brought great memories to me and pushed me to my best of my abilities as a baseball player.
Awesome. Hey, good shout-outs there. One of the best shout-outs. Bubbo, thanks for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being so awesome on and off the field. You're a great guy. And that's our show for today, guys. We don't have a Coach's Corner, but we're going to have a good one for you next week. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram. And on behalf of my co-host, Chappi Castillo, this is Uncle Muggs saying so long, and we'll see you next Sunday right here inside the park.